talk about love for a bit.
Sure.
It's, why not? In the promotional literature for the new film that comes out next 2 weeks, Pacing the Cage, you're quoted to say the rather orthodox thing, which isn't like you, that what Christianity is about is about loving God and loving neighbor. That's about it, you said. And which is, quite an audacious thing to say. I mean, that's what Jesus said, But, so you're in good company.
It didn't seem like much of a leap.
Right. and that theme of love comes out also in some of your creation songs. And I wanted to ask you about that. So in Star Wheel, you write, "We're given love and love must be returned. That's all the bearings that you need to learn. See how the star will return." Or then in Lord of the Starfield you sing, "O love that fires the sun, keep me burning." Does love go all the way down?
We hope. Down and up and every which way. To me, at one point I started feeling like love was they're going to find a particle, that's the love particle, one of these days. That's so subatomic that it just sticks everything together. I really feel like the thing we call love is a force in the universe, as physical as gravity, and as unphysical, as metaphysical, or some better word. But these things that this stuff is illusion. And yet it's not. It's what we live with in the day-to-day, and it's real enough, and we have to deal with it. But this is made out of waves and particles. That's all it is. You should be able to drop your elbow right through it, and then again, it should be able to come right through me and not bother me too much. But so somewhere underneath all this stuff is a range of forces that affect us, and I feel like love is the word we have for that force that emanates from the divine, that does inform everything just as much as light, perhaps more, because there are lots of places light doesn't penetrate. But I kind of think love does.
So then, when one lives against love, you're actually going against the very grain of the universe.
Yeah, you're being totally foolish.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
Yeah.
You're going to be crushed. Or you're going to be reshaped dramatically, which probably feels worse than being crushed.
Yeah.
But I mean, where that leaves us on this planet, it's, I don't like to think of it as a fallen planet, but our forebears have chosen to define it that way. Maybe it's fallen, maybe it's on its way up, maybe it's going nowhere. I don't know, but at the same time as we have to deal with the harshness of the lives that we live, we also have the ability to tap into this other stuff.
The way you put it and put it in your heart, which you were warming up on a few seconds ago. Terrible deeds done in the name of tunnel vision and fear of change surely are an expression of a soul that's turned its back on love. Sounds like a decent definition of sin. A soul that's turned its back on love.
Yeah, I would say, and maybe that makes all sinners terrorists. And, hi everyone. Guess what? We're all in this together. I don't know. I mean, that just occurred to me now when you said sinner, because that's my 9/11 song. Everybody wrote a 9/11 song. It took me a while to get that one, but I mean a while after the event. But thinking about really that it's an oversimplification the way I describe it, but that's the fear of change thing. And there's so much resistance in the world to that opening that is waiting to happen. And some of the resistance is conscious and self-serving. Some of it is the product of ignorance and a narrow vision of things. And it's that I was referring to. I mean, and I think of fundamentalism as a symptom of that, of whatever kind. I'm singling the Muslims in that regard. The notion that your limited vision can grasp the exact way things ought to be, and anybody who disagrees with you deserves death, or to be severely restrained. It's crap, in my view, and doesn't stand up to what my heart tells me at all. So.
And that kind of fundamentalism, one of the issues with it isn't just the arrogance of believing to come to definitive truth, but it's also this fear of change. And change has been a common theme throughout all of the 40 years of your writing, from the first album, the most recent. Mighty Trucks at Midnight, you sing, I believe it's a sin to try to make things last forever. So there's this attempt to hold everything down, and dogma kind of does that.
I think so. I think we become very attached to our addictions, and it's really, really hard to let go. And that's maybe even more true of the subtler addictions, like the inner ones, like that, the dark, substance-oriented. But I think that's something that we should aspire to do.
Hooked on avarice. How do we get off of it? There's an addiction.
They're all over the place, you know. I mean, I'm a pack rat. I collect stuff, all kinds of stuff. Comic books, cigarette lighters, knives. You know, I got piles of things all over. and it drives my girlfriend crazy. And you know, if I were living up to my own expectations, I wouldn't have those piles probably, or at least I wouldn't put any value on them. Right. We get attached to things, and there's so much lore in the world, in this, you know, everything, every serious attempt at addressing human spirituality, or at trying to describe it and put a code around it, looks at that issue of attachment. And I mean, the Asian, the Indian, and Hindu, Buddhist traditions are a little clearer on that than we are in our tradition. And although it doesn't prevent the world from having lots of greedy Buddhists and Hindus in it, but the attention that's paid to that, to letting go of those attachments is I think really worth us paying attention to.
What sustains you spiritually?
God. He does a lot more work than I do in that regard. You know, I mean, it's his life, I think. I don't see how I can separate spirit from life, no matter how dire life may appear at times, or how boring, or how great, for that matter. I can't make much of a distinction in there. It's gotten very blurry for me at times, like what that actually means. In fact, I'd say it's been blurry more than it's not. But